Did you ever think I could never lift 300-pound weights? I might get hurt, or someone might laugh at me for trying. Many people think this, although it appears to be a solitary sport. Powerlifting sometimes requires an occasional helping hand. Well, today's guest thought the very same thing until he finally decided to give it a try. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Michael, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests that you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give you the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they are planning, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today will meet with someone who enjoys the challenge of sportsmanship and powerlifting. Since he's learning what it takes to become a TV director, he hopes to use his newfound skills to create documentary profiles of Connecticut powerlifters so more people can learn about this fascinating sport. We would like to thank Alex for joining us today. So, we understand that one of your passions is powerlifting. Tell us about how you got started and what you love about it.
Well, I originally got started at my local gym. I saw a bunch of people doing it, and I thought, I could do it. And I have a friend who does it competitively, and he's helped me start training non-competitively. It's also just a very satisfying sport within itself. Like, you just be able to have the almost the bragging rights of being able to say, hey, I lifted 300 pounds. Also, believe it or not, powerlifters support each other all the time. Like, as you can see here, you have two guys on the side and one guy in the middle, mainly to just guide and make sure nothing bad goes, because trust me, anything can happen. And that's the main thing with it, is like trusting other people to help you. And it's scary when you mess up, and you have to go through rigorous training, certain diets, and it also, as you can see, it doesn't matter what age you are. You could start from 18 to like 50, and there's gyms all across America that teach this on a regular basis. And as the one in Connecticut that is very, very well known is Beast Gym in Monroe. And they are known for even doing a lot of weight training with local high school football teams. So it also is a community thing in a way. But there's so much you can do with it, and the possibilities are literally endless. You could start from 500 to even, believe it or not, people can do up to 1,000. But and it doesn't matter what size you are too. You could be short, tall. As you can see, different body types.
That was very fascinating. It's incredible the amount of weight these people can lift. What made you decide to take the television production course?
Well, I have a huge love for movies, and I always did. I'm a visually based learner anyway, so I thought the whole hands-on aspect of working with cameras would be really, really beneficial for me. My father also worked in the industry at one point, and he actually inspired me at a very young age to, I thought that I can do this. And that I transferred here specifically for this program. So I would love to keep going with it.
We know that you've learned some useful skills in this course. What have you found the most useful?
Well, I found that the basics of composition and the basics of using a camera itself stood out to me the most. But the Avid editing was also a large part of it because it is also required for a lot of the other TV production classes. Technical directing and live TV production was, a big step for everyone in our class. And working as a team, which isn't always easy, is just another aspect of learning, this trade, if you will.
Well, it seems like this class is very informative, but we'd like to hear about some of the projects that you've done. Tell us about your sequence project, your students take notes, fall foliage, and the orange project.
All right. Well, in my first project, the sequence project, I learned a lot about camera placement and not crossing the 180-degree line. I used a shot sheet. Not many shooting techniques. Establishing close-up shots were definitely a big part of it. I also just, I don't know. It was very straightforward project, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the Student Takes Notes project, I basically expanded on the techniques that I used in the sequence project. I did this by gathering shots, like extreme close-ups, and I closely analyzed movements to basically tell a story. My fall foliage project, I used the camera techniques I learned were the poor man's dissolve, continuous zoom ins and outs, rack focus, shift focus, and guidelines for good composition. In my orange project, I got to be very creative, write my own story, and choose my own actors, and choose my own techniques, and basically just demonstrate all the methods I learned throughout this course. It was also really fun to see everyone's reaction in that cafeteria there, the first time we did it. Yeah.
All the projects looked great. You could really see the progress throughout each one. But tell us about your best project.
Well, I would have to say that my best project is my New England fall foliage project. I have a huge love for the outdoors. I always did, even as a child. My father would take me camping all the time. I found it was a good challenge for me just to find artistic value in natural surroundings. Shooting in the sunlight also made everything just very vivid, as opposed to using your average fluorescent light bulbs in a building. But it was a nice change. It was nice to just be outside, and filming outside is nice because there's always movement, so the action is always there and you can't really miss it. And it was also just refreshing to film in my backyard. But I really enjoyed this project, and I hope to do another one just like it.
It sounds like you've learned so much, and your work really shows for it too. What was the most interesting skill that you've learned, and how will you put it to use?
Well, camera work was definitely a huge part of it. I would love to learn how to use studio cameras on a daily basis. Also, just the overall equipment of everything that is used in a studio. I mean, just in TV1, we've barely scratched the surface. Learning the basic shooting techniques was one of the biggest things in this class. I would love to expand my knowledge going into video too. and would want to possibly pursue a career in the future with video production. And yeah.
Today, we got to meet someone who enjoys the challenge and sportsmanship of powerlifting. As a new TV director, he hopes to take what he learned to create documentary profiles of Connecticut powerlifters and what makes them so successful. We would like to thank Alex for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Michael, directed by Barona. I'm your announcer, Paul. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.